It was the kind of night that made you forget you were ever warm. Snow whispered down like judgment. My coat, if you could call it that, had holes in both sleeves. The soles of my shoes were cracked. Every step soaked my socks with icy slush. I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't coming from anywhere either. I was just wandering. You see, I wasn't always like this. A year ago, I had a job, a place, a life. Now, I was just a ghost moving between street lamps. Then came the moment. A black luxury car slowed down. The window rolled down silently, like in a dream. A man with silver hair and eyes that didn't miss anything leaned out. "You all right, son?" I blinked. Was he talking to me? I don't know anymore. He didn't press me with questions. Just unlocked the door. "Hop in?" The night's too cruel to walk through alone. The heat inside his car felt like heaven. For a second, I thought, I might cry. But I didn't. I had buried my emotions under layers of survival. We drove in silence. The jazz on the radio felt like music from a different world. "My name is Rian," he said. "Zaid," I replied softly. I looked at him. He was clearly wealthy. Not just in money, but in how calmly he held himself. He didn't need to prove anything. "Where to?" he asked. I shrugged. "Nowhere." "Then let's go where there's coffee." We sat at a quiet diner, the kind that stays open for truckers and lost souls. He ordered 2 cups and didn't flinch at the way I shook holding the mug. "I wasn't always this way," I said, my voice cracked. Rayan nodded. "None of us are." And for the first time in months, I talked. I told him about my past. I had been a top software developer. I created a startup that got investment. But one partner's betrayal sent the company into bankruptcy. I went into debt. I sold my car, then my apartment. Then, my pride, I spiraled into depression. Friends disappeared. No one calls a drowning man to ask how the water feels. I ended up on benches, in shelters, forgotten. Rhea and didn't interrupt once. He just listened. And that was more than the world had offered me in a year. And then he told me his. 30 years ago, he began, I sold newspapers at this very diner. I blinked. "You?" He nodded. "Slept in my uncle's garage." I know what hunger feels like. I also know how rare it is for someone to simply care. One night, a stranger bought Emmy soup and said, "If you ever make it, don't forget this night." He sipped his coffee. I didn't forget. He slid a small hotel key across the table. "Take this. Get cleaned up. Sleep like a person again." "You deserve at least that." I stared. No one had ever done something like this for me. "Why?" I asked. "Because someone once did it for me. And because I see something in your eyes, Zaid, something that's not broken yet." The hotel was warm. The bed softer than anything I'd touched in months. I showered until my skin burned. I cried under that water, not because I was weak, but because hope was painful. The next day, a car waited for me outside. Took me to an office tower with Malik Holdings etched in gold. Raya and greeted me at the top floor. "You're not here for charity," he said. "You're here because I believe in second chances. There's a mentorship program I run, people who lost everything but still fight." I stared at him in disbelief. "Why do you believe in me?" "Because you're still standing in the snow." I started as an intern, filing papers, running errands. But I worked like a man starving for a future. Rayan checked on me weekly, gave advice, pushed me. When I failed, he didn't scold me. He taught me. I relearned the man I used to be. The creative spark, the sharp mind, the dreamer. 6 months later, I launched a software tool under his company's umbrella. It took off. I paid off my old debts, got my first apartment. Bought new shoes, but I kept the old torn ones in a box to remind me. One rainy night, I saw a boy sitting by a closed gas station. curled up with nothing but a trash bag over his shoulders. I rolled down my window. "You all right?" He didn't reply. Just looked at me with tired, scared eyes. I saw myself dot, so I stepped out. Offered him coffee. Offered him warmth. Offered him what Rian once offered me, because kindness passed on is the greatest kind of success. People ask me now, "Are you rich?" And I say, "No, but I'm valuable. Because I know what a warm car on a cold night can do. Because I know what mercy looks like when the world forgets you exist. Because someone once rolled down his window and changed my entire life."